Whatever this place was, the most strategic move was surely to keep my powers hidden.
Hello everyone, this is J Empire Queen, and today I'm going to talk to you about the Nintendo Switch game, also on Nintendo Switch 2, Goodnight Universe. Now, this is a very indie title. It's very much a niche game that might only stand out to a select few. It's got a very unique, wonky type art style, but within this game is a lot of depth, a lot of character development that happens between the lines, between the conversations of the characters in this game. Now, you play as a baby named Isaac, and baby Isaac is highly intelligent, genius status even. But nobody in this family realizes this at first. And so when you begin playing this game, you are playing through baby Isaac's perspective, and you make a series of choices as well as actions that determine what happens next in the game.
Oh, my heart's pumping.
And while the baby is having their own thoughts about the family, you learn about the characters as they also talk to each other in the background. And so you see that you have a very tight-knit family, but a family that is also broken in various ways. It's a family that players can relate to as far as the
Were they mocking me?
life events that happen and the trauma that may be lurking in the background.
To do it like a
Now,
baby.
while you play as baby Isaac, you also are introduced to his mother, his father, and his older sister. It's about the character roles because you are playing as this baby. Now, there's also a brief introduction to his grandfather, and Isaac's grandfather is a key element to this game. Now, his grandfather isn't in the picture very long, right? But what he leaves behind is what deeply affects Isaac, and what you could even say unlocks his telepathic abilities. Now, Isaac was already intelligent, but when he interacts with a certain object of his grandfather's, this grants him the ability to move objects, to read minds, and it unlocks powers in Isaac that he felt he would have to diminish. For instance, his intelligence, he felt like he would have to hold back because how could his parents understand? He would have to play the baby. But now with these powers, he can help his family. So you kind of get the idea here that Isaac has unlocked power, but this power is going to have effects later on. Now, how you interact with objects in this game is a bit less straightforward than I'd like. You're using a lot of the trigger buttons combined with the joysticks to move things, but it doesn't always feel natural or easy even when you're trying to do so. For instance, I was trying to move some of Isaac's toys back into a cabinet. Well, it was hard because I was trying to figure out how to hold these objects and lift them up while pressing this button, the trigger button, and I'm not sure if I need to move the dial a certain way, and it took me quite a while to figure out, oh, I need to maybe give this a couple seconds holding the trigger button, and then I can use the L button, the L joystick, to throw them in. It wasn't as easy as I'd like. I didn't think that part needed to be as hard or as lengthy a process as it is when you kind of venture into your siblings or parents' minds. That makes sense that you're lingering in that space for a while, but not when you're trying to move an object. I think that could have been a bit easier.
Closed out ship more than 90%. So done. Right
Even the game itself recognizes that some of the challenges are going to be difficult, and you do have the option to skip those if you like. I did utilize that option when I didn't feel like trying to repeat myself, just to continue the story. Despite the wonky controls, it's ultimately the story and the decision making which makes this a really great game for those of you who like interactive visual novels.
These are trippy, man. Real trippy.